You're listening to a rehearsal for Barely There Theater's production of King Lear, featuring Edmund.
Hey, Jody Mackman.
Record button here. We are off to the races.
All right.
Okay, first things first. For credit, Charles, how do you want me to pronounce your last name?
Budan.
Budan. Okay.
Yeah.
Just so I know for the credits and all that fun stuff. Okay, so I've scheduled us for 2 hours. I would be highly surprised if we used all that time, but I always like to overshoot instead of undershoot. Let's just start with the context of the play. How familiar are you with King Lear?
I'm quite familiar.
Quite familiar?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love that. It is my favorite of Shakespeare's plays. I think it's his best written. I'm sad it doesn't get staged more. That's part of the reason I'm doing it, albeit in a highly condensed format. What do I want to say beyond that? Edmund is my favorite role, and not this play, but all of Shakespeare. It is my dream role. So I will be living like a little bit vicariously through you, because he's so good. He's evil, but like the way he is evil, but like he still shows remorse at the end, and like there's like this really sound internal logic to everything he does. I think
he is one of the more sympathetic villains.
Yeah, because like from the get-go, like the first couple lines of the play are like, "Is this not your son?" And it's his dad just shitting on him, being like, "No, technically, but he sucks." So like from the get-go, you're like, "Oh man, I hope he gets some kind of justice." And then like he goes along the path, you're like, "Oh, okay, maybe not that much justice, Edmund, but go off." And yeah, he's just such a fun character, and there's a couple reasons I'm recording with you one-on-one. One is just it's very hard to get the people in this cast in a room together because you're all very busy people. But additionally, there is a little bit of a method to my madness in that I've kind of clustered groups of people and they're like receptive. That's what I'm looking for. Orbits. Lear is going to be reading with like the Fool and Kent because they're like always together. The sisters are going to be together with their husbands. I want you to record alone because Edmund is very much in his own little world the whole way through. Yes, everything he does directly affects other people, but he's only doing it because of him. He's never like, I think that would really benefit them. It's always like, this is about how can I most push myself out there. What else other context do I want to give about the show? It is, while I do think it's probably his best play, it's also one of his weirdest in that the A plot and B plot are totally like cut off from one another, and yet you can't like cut any element of one without like negatively impacting the other. And so I just think that's an interesting thing about it. But more so than that, it's very like the characters aren't people. Because a lot of Shakespeare's characters are very well like rounded like humans, and you can see like, oh yeah, I know like someone who's like Romeo, who's just like a total flirt who like doesn't know when to say when. But like everyone in here is much more like archetypes and like fills like types of people. And like, so as a result, it kind of, I'm wanting to be played like larger than feels appropriate. Like these aren't necessarily people, these are types of people. So like, yes, Edmund has a very sound internal logic, but he's also just like, he's a bastard, like he's like, he has a station in life and he lives comfortably. He lives way more comfortably than like most people around him, but it's still not enough. And so it's just like constant scheming to be like, all right, how do I take that next step up? And so a lot of it is I just want to I want you to feel like you're overplaying it. And I'll kind of give notes on certain things for that here and there. Logistically, you will have very minor blocking. You notice a microphone over here on this side and then another microphone on this side. This microphone's going to go to one earbud. That microphone's going to go to the other. So it's going to kind of give it the feel of like, if you close your eyes, you're like watching a play because people are moving around. Most of the blocking will just amount to like left or right, or you'll have a monologue, and I'll just say use the space, your space being this little square we're standing in. And the way we'll go through is we'll kind of go through scene by scene, and I will read across from you for the parts that Edmund is interacting with, so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm wanting the other characters to do to help kind of modulate your performance, how it feels appropriate for you. And then we'll go through once, maybe twice, depending on how much there is, how much feedback I have. And then I'm going to have you just run through all of your lines in that scene on your own. So that way I can get like a clean cut, and then, because I'm going to have to splice several different recordings together. I think that logistically is everything I need to say up front. Any questions? Anything you're curious about before we get going?
No, I think I got it.
Great. Okay, then we're going to start on the first page, page 2. You just have a couple lines in the scene, and then everything else gets set into motion. I just want to double check that I'm not forgetting Edmund somehow sneaking back in at the tail end of anything. Pages don't get stuck together. Nope, just at the get-go. Okay. So, at the top, I will have you stand... I'm trying to remember if I want stage left to be good guys or stage right to be bad guys. Let's say stage right is bad guys. So you can start off on stage, so to speak, just kind of over here by the couch. And I'll have Kent over here at stage left. Glasser will be firmly center. I'm just going to mark that so I can remember that for when we get to these other recordings. And you are stage right. Okay. Great, so I will just start with Glasser's line because they talk for a little bit. Do you know this noble gentleman, Edmund?
No, my lord.
My lord of Kent. Remember him hereafter as my honorable friend.
My services to your lordship.
I must love you and sue to know you better.
Sir, I shall study deserving.
He hath been out 9 years, and away he shall again. The king is coming. Okay, good. And I love that voice you're doing. Perfect. So if you just want to run through those lines one more time without me in between.
No, my lord. My services to your lordship. Sir, I shall study deserving.
Wunderbar. One scene down. Alright. The next scene is scene 2. Here's one of the good monologues. Alright. So you will start off center stage for this one. And let's just have you just take a crack at it. I'll give you what notes or feedback I want to give, and then we'll just read through the rest of the scene. And if you would like a music stand to rest your script on, go for it. Or if you want to hold it, whatever's going to be most comfortable for you.
How do I raise this? Is it here?
There you go. Oh. I think it might also, if need be, it can also come out a little bit higher there too. Should also be a little brighter in here. Hopefully. A little bit. Alright, whenever you're ready.
Thou, nature, art my goddess. To thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom, and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me, for that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines lag of a brother? Why, bastard? Wherefore base, when my dimensions are as well compact, my mind as generous, and my shape as true as honest madam's issue? Why brand they us with base, with baseness, bastardy, base, who, in the lusty stealth of nature, take more composition and fierce quality than doth within a dull, stale, tired bed, go to the creating a whole tribe of fops got tween sleep and wake. Well then, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard Edmund as to the legitimate. Fine word, legitimate. Well, my legitimate, if this letter speed and my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. I grow, I prosper. Now, gods, stand up for bastards!
So good. Okay. Kent banished thus, and the king gone tonight, prescribed his power, confined to exhibition. All this done upon the gad? Edmund, how now? What news?
So please your lordship, none.
Oh, and then I left in stage directions as a line. Thank you for ignoring that. That'll be a crinkling sound effect that I put in post. Why so earnestly seek you to put up that letter?
I know no news, my lord.
What paper were you reading?
Nothing, my lord.
No? What needed then that terrible dispatch of it into your pocket? Come, if it be nothing, I shall not need spectacles.
I beseech you, sir, pardon me. It is a letter from my brother that I have not all o'erread, and for so much as I have perused, I find it not fit for your o'erlooking.
Give me the letter, sir.
I shall offend either to detain or give it.
Let's see. I begin to find an idle and fond bondage in that oppression of aged tyranny. Come to me that of this I may speak more. If our father would sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half his revenue forever and live the beloved of your brother. Edgar. Conspiracy? Sleep till I wake him, you should enjoy half his revenue? My son Edgar, had he a hand to write this, a heart and a brain to breed it in? When came you to this? Who brought it?
It was not brought me, my lord. There's the cunning of it. I found it thrown at the casement of my closet.
You know the character to be your brother's?
It is his hand, my lord, but I hope his heart is not in the contents.
Has he never before sounded you in this business?
Never, my lord. But I have heard him oft maintain it to be fit that, sons at perfect age and fathers declined, the father should be as ward to the son, and the son manage his revenue.
Oh, villain! His very opinion in the letter, abhorred villain, unnatural, detested, brutish villain! Worse than brutish. Go, seek him. I'll apprehend him. Abominable villain! Where is he?
I do not well know, my lord. I dare pawn down my life for him that he hath writ this to feel my affection to your honor, and to no other pretense of danger.
Think you so?
If your honor judge it meet, I will place you where you shall hear us confer of this.
He cannot be such a monster.
Nor is not, sure.
To his father, that so tenderly and entirely loves him. Heaven and earth, Edmund, seek him out. Wind me into him, I pray you. Frame the business after your own wisdom.
I will seek him, sir.
These late eclipses, yada 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 yada. Do it carefully, and the noble and true-hearted Kent banished, his offense honesty. 'Tis strange. Gloucester will walk off.
This is the excellent foppery of the world. That we when... Oh, yeah. I'll take that again. This is the excellent foppery of the world. That when we are sick in fortune, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon and stars, as if we were villains on necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, thieves by spherical predominance, drunkards, liars, and adulterers by an enforced obedience of planetary influence, and all that we are evil in by a divine thrusting on. An admirable evasion of man, to lay his disposition on a star. Edgar. And back he comes like the catastrophe of the old comedy. My cue is villainous melancholy, with a sigh like Tom O'Bedlam. Oh, these eclipses do portend these divisions. Fa sol la mi.
And for the fa sol la mi, if you just want to hum that, just the notes, that will work. Perfect. A nice little creepy Edmund. How now, brother Edmund? What serious contemplation are you in?
When saw you my father last?
The night gone by.
Spake you with him?
Aye, 2 hours together.
Parted you in good terms? Found you no displeasure in him?
None at all.
Bethink yourself wherein you may have offended him.
Some villain hath done me wrong.
That's my fear. Retire with me to my lodging, from whence I will bring you to hear my lord speak. Pray you, go. There's my key. If you do stir abroad, go armed.
And I just want to give you a note real quick for when you go back to record. Make sure to really hit offended him, specifically offended, just because I have cut quite a bit of dialogue out of this, and so I want to make sure that's the through line. That's my fear. Retire with me to my lodging. From... Oh, I'm so sorry. You're right. Armed, brother?
Brother, I advise you to the best. I am no honest man if there be any good meaning toward you. I have told you what I have seen and heard, but faintly. Nothing like the image and horror of it. Pray you, away!
Shall I hear from you anon?
I do serve you in this business. A credulous father and a brother noble, whose nature is so far from doing harms that he suspects none, on whose foolish honesty my practices ride easy. I see the business. Let me, if not by birth, have lands by wit. All with me is meet that I can fashion fit.
Good. Okay, I think the only other note I want to go a couple more notes. Is in that initial monologue. Great start. I really only want to do a couple of tweaks. With that line about halfway down, the really one that runs almost across the whole page, with bass, Miss Bastardy, bass, hit each of those basses with an increasing intensity, so that like last one really like, this is very clearly Edmund's complex, this is what he's hung up on, is the idea that he's below everyone, even though he's not. He's like still royalty. That's just not good enough. So like, each of those basses, just build them until you get to that last one, and almost treat that not quite like a period, but almost, and just kind of like work yourself up. Wait, hold on, I'm better than this, and then bring yourself back down. Fops, and then more kind of condescension on fops and the idea of. Because where Edmund's coming from is he's like, I'm so cool that I was like a passion child. Yeah. I, everyone else, like, that's their marital duty, but that's how good I am, is I came from passion. And so really just kind of also pull that line out a little bit. But then the only other note I want to give is when Gloucester is inquiring about the letter, much more kind of, okay. No, what letter? Just like way over the top of being like, okay, clearly he's up to something. But other than that, those were my only notes. So if you want to run through those lines again, and I will let you know if I hear any like exterior noises like cats or things in the house where I just want you to do a line again. Otherwise, take it away.
Thou, nature, art my goddess. To thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom, and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me? For that I am some 12 or 14... You want me to...
Yeah,
Okay.
and while we're stopped, great question.
Yeah.
If you're ever like doing a line and like something like blah, blah, blah comes out, or like you just like read and you're like, I didn't like that, just like take a second and then start the line back over. It's easiest to do it on like a period or the end of a thought, but that's a kind of a big chunk, so I'll just have you go back to the beginning and take it from the top.
Thou, nature, art my goddess. To thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom, and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me? For that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines lag of a brother? Why bastard? Wherefore base, when my dimensions are as well compact, my mind as generous, and my shape as true as honest madam's issue? Why brand they us with base? With baseness, bastardy, base? Who, in the lusty stealth of nature, take more composition and fierce quality than doth within a dull, stale, tired bed go to the creating a whole tribe of fops, caught tween sleep and wake. Well then, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard Edmund as to the legitimate. Fine word, legitimate. Well, my legitimate, if this letter speed and my invention thrive, Edmund, the base, shall top the legitimate. I grow, I prosper. Now, gods, stand up for bastards!
Could I have you just do the I grow, I prosper one more time?
I grow, I prosper. Now, gods, stand up for bastards!
Perfect. You can keep on moving through.
So please your lordship, none. I know no news, my lord. Nothing, my lord. I beseech you, sir, pardon me. It is a letter from my brother that I have not all o'erread, and for so much as I have perused, I find it not fit for your o'erlooking. I shall offend either to detain or give it. It was not brought me, my lord. There's the cunning of it. I found it thrown in at the casement of my closet. It is his hand, my lord, but I hope his heart is not in the contents. Never, my lord. But I have heard him oft maintain it to be fit that sons at perfect age and fathers declined, the father should be as ward to the son, and the son manage his revenue. I do not well know, my lord. I dare pawn my life down for him that he hath writ this to feel my affection to your honour, and to no other pretence of danger. If your honour judge it meet, I will place you where you shall hear us confer of this. Nor is not, sure. I will seek him, sir. This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and stars, as if we were villains on necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, thieves by spherical predominance, drunkards, liars, and adulterers by an enforced obedience of planetary influence, and all that we are evil in by a divine thrusting on, an admirable evasion of man, to lay his dispositions on a star. Edgar. And pat he comes like the catastrophe of the old comedy. My cue is villainous melancholy, with a sigh like Tom o' Bedlam. Oh, these eclipses do portend these divisions. When saw you my father last? Spake you with him? Parted you in good terms? Found you no displeasure in him? Bethink yourself wherein you may have offended him. That's my fear. Retire with me to my lodging, from whence I will bring you to hear my lord speak. Pray you go. There's my key. And if you do stir abroad, go armed. Brother, I advise you to the best. I am no honest man if there be any good meaning toward you. I have told you what I have seen and heard, but faintly. Nothing like the image and horror of it. Pray you, away! I do serve you in this business. A credulous father and a brother noble, whose nature is so far from doing harms that he suspects none, on whose foolish honesty my practices ride easy. I see the business. Let me, if not by birth, have lands by wit. All with me is meat that I can fashion fit.
Fantastic. All right, moving right along. You appear next in scene 4.
Okay.
20, on page 26, and I just lost it. And then I will have you start stage right for this, and I will have Edgar come in from the stage left since he is a good guy. Do I want to give any? At the very end, I'll have you do a bunch of like VA like ha 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 noises, and then I'll splice that into all the various fights. But we don't need to worry about that right now. Otherwise, let's just do it like we just did. I'll read through for the parts that aren't you, and we'll go through.
The Duke be here tonight. This weaves itself into my business. My father hath set guard to take my brother. I must act. Brother, a word! Descend! Brother, I say!
Brother?
My father watches. Oh, sir, fly this place. Intelligence is given where you are hid. You have now the good advantage of the night. I hear my father coming. Pardon me. In cunning, I must draw my sword upon you. Draw! Seem to defend yourself. Now, quit you well! Yield! Come before my father! Light! Ho! Here! Fly, brother! Torches! Torches! So, farewell. Some blood drawn upon me would beget opinion of my more fierce endeavor. I have seen drunkards do more than this in sport. Father! Father! Stop! Stop! No help!
Now, Edmund, where's the villain?
Here stood he in the dark, his sharp sword out, mumbling of wicked charms, conjuring the moon.
But where is he?
Look, sir, I bleed.
Where is the villain, Edmund?
Fled this way, sir, when by no means could he...
Pursue him. Go! After. By no means what?
Persuade me to the murder of your lordship. but that I told him the revenging gods 'gainst parasites did all the thunder bend. Spoke with how strong a bond the child was bound to the father, sir. In fine, seeing how loathly opposite I stood to his unnatural purpose, with his prepared sword lanced mine arm, and when he saw my best alarmed spirits full, suddenly he fled.
Let him fly far. Not in this land shall he remain uncaught and found. Dispatch. The noble Duke comes tonight. By his authority I will proclaim it, that he which finds him shall deserve our thanks, bringing the murderous coward to the stake. He that conceals him, death. Hark, yada 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 yada. You don't speak again until the next page, so I will hop down to that. Cornwall. Cornwall will also be here roughly in center. Nor I assure thee, Regan. Edmund, I hear that you have shown your father a childlike office.
It was my duty, sir.
Yeah. And then there's there's this bit in this scene where like you're like, I'm wounded, and like Gloucester's like, I literally could care less. Where is he? And then like Gloucester is then like, look, he's wounded, and Cornwall's also literally like, I literally could care less. And so when we go back through, I want you to kind of play up more of that. I bleed, and just like make that much more like, and so that way Gloucester can be like, I literally do not care. But I got distracted. Cornwall talking. If he be taken, he shall never more be feared of doing harm. For you, Edmund, whose virtue and obedience doth so much commend itself, you shall be ours. Natures of such deep trust we shall much need.
I shall serve you, sir. Truly, however else.
For him I thank your grace. You know not why we... And then that's the end for Edmund, that scene. The note I just gave where much more kind of play up the me, I'm bleeding. But the only other thing I want is when you wound your arm, if you could give like a or like a little like kind of noise to help indicate that you hurt yourself. But other than that, that sounded good. Did I have another note? I feel like I had one other thing. I don't think so. If I did, I'll remember it when we go through it again. All right, take it away.
And you just want me stage right the whole time?
Let's have you cross a little bit. Good question. Because I'm kind of picturing like everyone running past, and you're literally here just like bleeding, like very noticeably, visibly bleeding, and like everyone's like, bah, 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 and you're like, hello, literally bleeding hand here, and so like, on the little chunk, kind of the top half of 27, look, sir, I bleed. Like, you can move more over here, stage left, because I'm going to have Gloucester over here. So you can kind of cross the distance and come a little past center, and then hang out there. And then once everyone else enters, I'll have you scurry kind of back to the upstage right corner. Blocking's not as important. So yeah, those will be your 3 points. So you'll start off right, you'll cross over for the look, sir, I'm bleeding, and then I'm going to tuck you way up in the corner for your it was my duty, and I shall serve you.
Okie doke.
Bits. Good question. Thank you for reminding me of the the blocking. All right. Oh, I'll let that noise go away, and then I'll have you take it away.
Okie doke.
All right, you're good.
The Duke be here tonight. This weaves itself into my business. My father hath set guard to take my brother. I must act. Brother, a word! Descend! Brother, I say! My father watches. Oh, sir, fly this place. Intelligence is given where you are hid. You have now the good advantage of the night. I hear my father coming. Pardon me. In cunning, I must draw my sword upon you. Draw! Seem to defend yourself. Now, quit you well! Yield! Come before my father! Light! Oh, here! Fly, brother! Torches, torches! So, farewell. Some blood drawn on me would beget opinion of my more fierce endeavor. I have seen drunkards do more than this in sport. Father! Father! Stop! Stop! No help! Here stood he in the dark, his sharp sword out, mumbling of wicked charms, conjuring the moon to...
Yeah, sorry about that. It's feeding time. Alright, hold on. Let me go close the boys downstairs, because they will bully her away from her food. And then I'll have you do that line again. How loud are you crunching? She's crunching. We'll give her a minute.
What are their names?
This one is Minna, and then the two boys, which are downstairs eating, are Noodles and Rigatoni.
Aw.
The pasta-themed cats are Sydney's cats, hence the theme. And this was my cat from before we ever got together, hence the lack of theme. They all have automatic feeders, and so every time they sprint around the house. But she has a very special diet because she's a very special cat. And she's declawed in the front, so they will bully her away from her own food. So feeding time is always a little bit hectic here in the house. You head back to New York in what, a few days?
Yeah, the 17th.
You're going to school there, right?
Yeah.
So how does that work? Because I know a lot of people who live and work in New York, but I've never known anyone who's gone to school in New York. Do you have dorms? Are you already in apartments? What's the situation?
I live in a dorm. It's weird because there's colleges, but none of them can really have a campus in the city.
Yeah.
So you'll just be walking down the street and see a sign out in front of a building that says this is a university building.
Okay.
And then there's just some parks that will just kind of be entirely absorbed by college students just because they're in the middle of a lot of buildings. So everywhere I need to go is probably within 10 blocks of where I live.
Oh, jeez.
But actually, I have to take the subway to get to my studio classes, but...
Really? That's so interesting. Because I went to University of Illinois, which is very much a traditional, when you, picture college, that's, the stereotypical, there's a quad in all the buildings. So, having to, commute to a class is kind of a wild concept to me.
Well, it's crazy I meet students who are from New York, so then they don't dorm, they just live at home.
Right.
So they have a long commute through the city to get to class.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And what school do you go to again?
I go to NYU.
Okay. This is going so well so far?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
And then, so are you planning on living in the dorms? Are you going to switch to an apartment next year, or
I'll probably dorm next year. I'd like to have an apartment, and they are pretty comparable cost-wise to dorm for 9 months. But if I get an apartment, I'd probably have to sign a lease over the summer.
Yeah.
And I am probably going to be coming back here next summer again.
So you'd be losing that chunk of money.
Yeah.
That's always kind of the one thing I've been curious about school in New York is how does
where do you live?
Where do you live? But also then where are the classes? Because I have to imagine they're just you can't really chunk out that much of the city for a school. So I guess it's just part of the city. I've never been to New York.
I'd never gone until earlier this year, or I suppose in 2023. But
is it? How overwhelming is it? Is it something you get used to, or
it's something you get used to, but wanting to go really helps.
Yeah.
I really wanted to kind of move out of the Midwest suburban type of life. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty. At least, I mean, I'm sure I still look like someone who's only lived in New York for 3 months to people who've lived in New York their whole lives.
Right.
But I am like capable and I know how to get around and things like that.
That helps. What was the culture shock like? Was it like, because I mean the Quad Cities is about as aggressively suburban as you can get, and then New York is like almost a polar opposite, and like it's just so urban. So was like the first like week there, like what am I doing?
I have my health app on my phone that tracks how much you walk.
Yeah.
And it's spiked then and has not gone down. Which is great because I don't like driving that much. Mm-hmm. So being in a walkable place is great. And also, I mean, you always walk more in college anyway, just because of your lifestyle.
Yeah. But that's the thing I miss most about college is like because even when I was like in the dorms, like it was a huge campus, so it was like still a mile walk just to get to class. So like I would walk miles every single day, everywhere, and I love that. I love just like being able to like, oh, if I want food, I can just like walk and like go get food and then hit a bar and then like walk home and like never be like concerned about it. Whereas like this Quad City sucks. Like you can't walk anywhere.
I felt so trapped in my house, like having been back here from break.
Yeah. Because like you like, there's like, even in this neighborhood, there aren't sidewalks. Like you have to just walk on the road. And like that's the thing I hate most about the Quad Cities is like you just can't. It's just not walkable.
Yeah.
It sucks. All right, you can come out of jail, cats. All right, that should be the last major sound distractions. We can hop back into it. So from the top of
27.
27, yes.
Here stood he in the dark, his sharp sword out, mumbling of wicked charms, conjuring the moon to... Look, sir, I bleed. Fled this way, sir, when by no means could he... Fled this way, sir, when by no means he could... Persuade me to the murder of your lordship. But that I told him the revenging gods 'gainst parricides did all the thunder bend. Spoke with how strong a bond the child was bound to the father, sir. In fine, seeing how loathly opposite I stood to his unnatural purpose, with his prepared sword lanced mine arm. And when he saw my best alarmed spirits, full suddenly he fled.
Noodles.
I forgot to cross on looks around.
Yeah, go ahead and cross, and then I will grab the noisemaker. Hey, that's not your food. You know it. Get.
Do you want me to cross on the line or cross in sight, or is it?
Cross on the line just so that way we can kind of get like a sense of movement.
Look, sir, I bleed. Fled this way, sir, when by no means he could persuade me to the murder of your lordship. But that I told him the revenging gods 'gainst parricides did all the thunder bend. Spoke with how strong a bond the child was bound to the father, sir. In fine, seeing how loathly opposite I stood to his unnatural purpose, with his prepared sword lanced mine arm. And when he saw my best alarmed spirits, full suddenly he fled. It was my duty, sir. I shall serve you, sir. Truly. However else.
Can you do that one just one more time since I heard that bump?
I shall serve you, sir. truly. However else.
Wunderbar. Alright. Keep on moving. The next time you come in is page 47, and you have just a couple of lines. So, same as before. I will just read, and then recording, and keep on moving. Alack, and yeah, stage right works for you. Alack, Edmund, I like not this unnatural dealing. Yeah, amen, Midna. She also does not like this unnatural dealing. Have they broken up? Yeah, they have. We're rehearsing anyway. It's fine. I like not this unnatural dealing. When I desired their leave that I might pity him, they took from me the use of mine own house, charged me neither to speak of him, entreat for him, or any way sustain him.
Most savage and unnatural.
Go to. Say you nothing. There is division between the dukes, and a worse matter than that. I have received a letter this night. 'Tis dangerous to be spoken. I have locked the letter in my closet. These injuries the king now bears will be revenged home. There is part of a power already footed. We must incline to the king. I will look him and relieve him. Go you and maintain talk with the duke, that my charity be not perceived. If he asks for me, I am ill and gone to bed. If I die for it, the king, my old master, must be relieved. There are strange things toward Edmund. Pray you, be careful.
This shall the duke instantly know, and of that letter too. This must draw me that which my father loses, no less than all. The younger rises, and the old doth fall.
Good. Just do those two. Just do those two again, and we'll move on to the next scene.
Most savage and unnatural. This shall the duke instantly know, and of that letter too. This must draw me that which my father loses, no less than all. The younger rises when the old doth fall.
Good. Alright. You appear again, scene 10 on page 55. It's you with the Cornwall. Alright. And just to mix things up, I'll put you over here on stage left for this scene. Because Cornwall's also evil, so he can be on stage right. Alright. I will have my revenge ere I depart his house.
How, my lord, I may be censured that nature thus gives way to loyalty. Something fears me to think of.
I now perceive it was not altogether your brother's evil disposition made him seek his death, but a badness in himself.
How malicious is my fortune that I must repent to be just. This is the letter he spoke of, which approves him an intelligent party to the advantages of France. Oh, heavens, that this treason were not, or not I the detector.
Go with me to the Duchess.
If the matter of this paper be certain, you have mighty business in hand.
True or false, it hath made the Earl of Gloucester. It hath made thee Earl of Gloucester. Seek out where thy father is, that he may be ready for our apprehension. I lay trust upon thee, and thou find a dearer father in my love.
If I find my father comforting the king, it will stuff the duke's suspicion fully. I will persevere in my course of loyalty, though the conflict be sore between that and my blood.
Good. Just do those again. I'll move on to the next scene.
Cool. How, my lord, I may be censured, that nature thus gives way to loyalty. Something fears me to think of. How malicious is my fortune that I must repent to be just.
This is the letter that he spoke of, which approves him an intelligent party to the advantages of France. Oh, heavens, that this treason were not, or not I, the detector. If the matter of this paper be certain, you have mighty business in hand. If I find my father comforting the king, it will stuff the duke's suspicion fully. I will persevere in my course of loyalty, though the nature be sore between that and my blood.
Thank you for waiting, Rigatoni. I appreciate it. Alright, good. You don't appear again until scene 14 on page 71.
Okay.
And this, I think you just have the one line. Right? Am I crazy? No, I think you just have the one. You just have the one, so I won't even read. The prompt for it. You can just do it, and we can move on to the next scene.
You want me to stage right, stage left?
Oh, good question. Let's put you, Conroe. She's evil, so she will start stage right. We'll put Oswald center. Let's keep you stage left.
Okay.
Or actually, no. Let's put you center. I'll put Oswald stage left.
Yours in the ranks of death.
And just one more time for safety.
Yours in the ranks of death.
Perfect. Keep on moving. Zooming right along. You appear again. Scene. Really? Yeah, that's it. 18. And then you just have a, which is on page 90. And yeah, you're throughout this one, so we'll just read through the whole thing. Where do I want you? I know. I will put Reagan stage left, Goneril will be stage right, and you will be center, since they are fighting over you. Okay. Our sister's man is certainly miscarried.
'Tis to be doubted, madam.
Now, sweet lord, you know the goodness I intend upon you. Tell me but truly, but then speak the truth. Do you not love my sister?
In honored love.
But have you never found my brother's way to the forefend place?
That thought abuses you.
I shall never endure her. Dear my lord, be not familiar with her.
Fear me not. She and the Duke, her husband.
I had rather... Oh, no, that's Conroe, who's over here. I had rather lose the battle than that sister should loosen him and me. Our very loving sister, well bemet. The king is come to his daughter, with others whom the rigor of our state forced to cry out. For this business it touches us as France invades our land.
I shall attend you presently at your tent.
Sister, you'll go with us? No. 'Tis most convenient. Yada yada yada. Yada yada. Conspiring. Sisterly love. Conspiring. Albany. Why? Fare thee well. And for this, for you entering, I'll just have you enter stage right for that line, and then you can cross to just right of center. And I'll have Albany be just left of center. Okay. Why, fare thee well. I will overlook thy paper.
The enemy's in view. Draw up your powers. Here is the guess of their true strength and forces by diligent discovery. But your haste is now urged on you.
We will greet the time. He walks off, and you have another evil little monologue.
To both these sisters...
To both these sisters have I sworn my love, each jealous of the other as the stung are of the adder. Which of them shall I take? Both, one, or neither? Neither can be enjoyed if both remain alive. To take the widow exasperates, makes mad her sister Goneril, and hardly shall I carry out my side, her husband being alive. Now then, we'll use his countenance for the battle, which, being done, let her who would be rid of him devise his speedy taking off. As for the mercy which he intends to Lear and to Cordelia, the battle done, and they within our power, shall never see his pardon. For my state stands on me to defend, not to debate.
Good. Do I have any notes? I don't think I do. I do not. Just run through all those lines again, and we'll move on to what I believe is your final scene.
Awesome. 'Tis to be doubted, madam, in honored love, that thought abuses you. Fear me not, she and the Duke, her husband. I shall attend you presently at your tent. The enemy's in view. Draw up your powers. Here is the guess of their true strength and forces by diligent discovery. But your haste is now urged on you. To both these sisters have I sworn my love, each jealous of the other as the stung are of the adder. Which of them shall I take? Both, one, or neither? Neither can be enjoyed if both remain alive. To take the widow exasperates, makes mad her sister Goneril, and hardly shall I carry out my side, her husband being alive. Now then, we'll use his countenance for the battle, which being done, let her who would be rid of him devise his speedy taking off. As for the mercy which he intends to Lear and to Cordelia, the battle done, and they within our power, shall never see his pardon. For my state stands on me to defend, not to debate.
Good. All right. Into scene 20, which is the final scene. I know we're well past it within the context of the show, but I just want to acknowledge how weird Edgar is.
He's not.
Immediately, he is like, "Oh, my dad hates me. All right, guess I'm a homeless orphan now."
Yeah.
Like immediately, and also like just the series of voices he does. I think my headcanon is that Edgar just really wanted to be a theater kid, and his dad was like, "No, you have like real things to do," and that's. It's just a weird show. It's a weird show because like he immediately gives up. Like he doesn't even like think about like, oh, I'll try to talk it out with Med. He's like, all right, I'm just banished forever. On the word of his like very clearly scheming evil brother, he's like, no, well, so it goes. It's just it's a good show, but it's so weird. Okay, but I digress. Okay. Let's have you start off center in this scene, since this is Edmund at the only time he's like in firm grasp of everything. Also his only line to Lear in the whole show, and it's not even necessarily to Lear, which I just think is interesting. And then where do I want you to move? You can stay center until Reagan and Goneril go on for quite a bit. I'll have you move stage... No. Well, I will have you move stage right, but not when I was going to tell you to move stage right. I will have you move stage right... on a page 100 when Edgar enters, because Edgar will be stage left, because he's a good guy. And so you will be stage right. And then I think you'll just stay stage right until you expire.
Okey-doke.
I might change that, but I think that's gonna be your blocking for the scene. All right. Whenever you're ready.
Officers, take them away.
We are not the first who with best meaning have incurred the worst. For thee I am cast down. Lear, and will wear out in a walled prison packs and sects of great ones that ebb and flow by the moon.
Take them away.
And I think have the second take them away be even more annoyed, because your first is like you and Power being like, all right, take them away, and then like Lear gets like a whole monologue where he just gets to like be like, oh, we're gonna be sad prisoners together, and he's like, go. I'm in charge. But I don't need to have you do that again. Upon such sacrifices, my Cordelia, wipe thine eyes. The good years shall devour them flesh and fell, ere they shall make us weep. We'll see 'em starve first. Come. I exit off stage left.
Come hither, Captain. Hark! Take thou this note. Go, follow them to prison. One step I have advanced thee. If thou dost as this instructs thee, thou dost make thy way to noble fortunes. Know thou this, that men are as the time is. To be tender-minded does not become a sword. Thy great employment will not bear question. Either say thou'lt do it, or thrive by other means.
I'll do it, my lord.
About it, and right happy when thou'st done it. Carry it so as I have set it down.
If it be man's work, I'll do it. He goes off. Albany comes in. Sir, you have showed today your valiant strain, and fortunes led you well. You have the captives. I do require them.
Sir, I thought it fit to send the old and miserable king to some retention and appointed guard. With him I sent the queen, and they are ready tomorrow, or at further space, to appear where you shall hold your session. At this time we sweat and bleed. The friend hath lost his friend. The question of Cordelia and her father requires a fitter place.
Sir, I hold you but a subject of this war, not as a brother. He let our Regan and Goneril have the sisterly spat for about a page. The let alone lies not in your goodwill,
nor in thine, lord.
And they go on for most of a page. Sick! Oh, sick! If not, I'll never trust medicine.
There's my exchange. What in the world he is that names me traitor? Villain-like he lies. Call by the trumpet. He that dares approach on him, on you, who not? I will maintain my truth and honor firmly.
A herald! Ho!
A herald! Ho! A herald!
Edgar comes on. Edgar is stage left, so I will have you counter just a little bit right. And where do I pick it from? What's he that speaks for Edmund, Earl of Gloucester?
Himself. What sayest thou to him?
Draw thy sword, that if my speech offend a noble heart, thy arm may do thee justice. Here is mine. Behold my privilege, my oath, and my profession. I protest thy strength, place, youth, and eminence. Despite thy victor sword and fire new fortune, thy valor and thy heart, thou art a traitor. False to thy gods, thy brother, and thy father. Say thou no, this sword prove thou liest.
Back do I toss these treasons to thy head. With the hell-hated lie o'erwhelm thy heart, which this sword of mine shall give them instant way, where they shall rest forever. Trumpets, speak!
Nice. And we'll do the VA fight sounds at the end. As we go back through to record, if you could just give like a or like a some kind of wounded noise. You sit there wounded and bleeding out till the bottom of the page. Albany, go after her. She's desperate. Govern her.
What you have charged me with, that I have done. And more. Much more. The time will bring it out. 'Tis past, and so am I. But what art thou that hast this fortune on me?
Let's exchange charity. I am no less in blood than thou art, Edmund. If more, the more hast wronged me. My name is Edgar, and thy father's son. The gods are just, and of our pleasant vices make instruments to plague us. The dark and vicious place where thee he got cost him his eyes.
Thou hast spoken right. 'Tis true. The wheel is come full circle. I am here.
And then it goes on for a bit. They discuss what to do until you speak on the top of 104.
I speak on 103 as well.
You?
Yeah.
Where? Oh, there you are. I have the bad copy, which is faded right down the center, so I missed that. Thank you. Because I would have been going through editing and been like, why am I missing this line? Okay. Attendant. Your lady, sir. Your lady and her sister by her is poisoned. She confesses it.
I was contracted to them both. All three now marry in an instant.
So, Albany. Great thing of us forgot. Speak, Edmund. Where's the king? And where's Cordelia?
I bad for life. Some good I mean to do, despite of mine own nature. Quickly, send to the castle, for my writ is on the life of Lear and on Cordelia.
Run! Oh, run! To who, my lord? Who has the office? Send thy token of reprieve.
Well thought on. Take my sword. Give it the captain.
Haste thee for thy life.
He hath commission from thy wife and me to hang Cordelia in the prison, and to lay the blame upon her own despair.
The gods defend her. They go on for a bit. Lear enters.
I think it's my last one.
That is your last line? That is your last line. Did I cut something? I don't think I did. When do they drag you off? Because I want a noise for Edmund when he gets dragged off. Oh, there we go. It's a thing that I forgot to put as a stage direction. Albany says the gods defend her, bear him hence, need not be gentle. So
Edmund is carried out. Yes.
Yeah. I don't necessarily need a scream, but some kind of like you're already like wounded, and they're like digging fingers in the wound and like just dragging.
So some kind of noise. Yeah, some kind of noise after your final line. And that will be it for Edmund. And then I have a few final VA things I want you to do at the end. So take it back to the top of the scene, run through all that, and then I'll just give you a handful more things to do at the end.
You doke.
Officers, take them away. Take them away. Come hither, Captain. Hark. Take thou this note. Go, follow them to the prison. One step I have advanced thee. If thou dost as this instructs thee, thou dost make thy way to noble fortunes. Know thou this, that men are as the time is. To be tender-minded does not become a sword. Thy great employment will not bear question. Either say thou'lt do it, or thrive by other means. About it, and right happy when thou hast done it. Carry it so as I have set it down. Sir, I thought it fit to send the old and miserable king to some retention and appointed guard. With him I sent the queen, and they are ready to... take that again. Sir, I thought it fit to send the old and miserable king to some retention and appointed guard. With him I sent the queen, and they are ready tomorrow, or at further space, to appear where you shall hold your session. At this time we sweat and bleed. The friend hath lost his friend. The question of Cordelia and her father requires a fitter place. Nor in thine, Lord. There's my exchange. What in the world he is that names me traitor? Villain-like he lies. Call by the trumpet he that dares approach. On him, on you, who not? I will maintain my truth and honor firmly. A herald! Ho, a herald! Himself, what sayest thou to him? Back do I toss these treasons to thy head, with the hell-hated lie o'erwhelm thy heart, which this sword of mine shall give them instant way, where they shall rest forever. Trumpets, speak! What you have charged me with, that I have done, and more, much more. The time will bring it out. 'Tis past, and so am I. But what art thou that hast this fortune on me? Thou hast spoken right. 'Tis true. The wheel is come full circle. I am here. I was contracted to them both. All three now marry in an instant. I pant for life. Some good I mean to do, despite my own nature. Quickly, send to the castle, for my writ is on the life of Lear and on Cordelia. Well thought on. Take my sword. Give it the captain. He hath commission from thy wife and me to hang Cordelia in the prison, and to lay the blame upon her own despair.
Okay. If I could have you give out one more kind of a more drawn out cry, because kind of what I'm picturing in my visual of what's visually happening in an audio play is these soldiers are so disgusted with Edmund that they just like drag him off and like literally just like off stage like crush his skull. And so I'm kind of wanting some kind of like long sound from you that I can like cut off in editing. So some kind of cry, whatever that may be, whatever feels right to you. If you could give me that, I'll have you do that, and then
I realized I skipped the other one when we fight the trial by combat.
Yeah, and the one you just did actually I think will work for the trial by combat. So for the second one, as he's getting dragged off, something a little longer, whatever that may be.
Do you want me to give the whole line?
Yeah, sure, why not?
He hath commission from thy wife and me to hang Cordelia in the prison, and to lay the blame upon her own despair.
You want longer?
Just a little bit longer, but that was almost it.
Okay.
Literally perfect. Okay. Now, if you want to give me just some noises, and then I have just two more things after that, and then we'll be done.
Cool. You want those from center, or do you want those?
Let's do center, and then I can pan you around the room as needed in editing.
Ha! Ho! Ha! 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 Ho! Ha!
Good. All right, and then the last thing I want to do is I'm having everyone do this. It's my concept. It might not work in editing, but I want the play to start with like this big breath in from the entire ensemble, like a I can't want just something very like loud and audibly drawn in, and then I keep going back and forth on if I want the play to end with Lear dying or if I want to do the final little page of dialogue, the epilogue. I keep going back and forth on that. But my thought is that when Lear dies, everyone lets out like a big
cool,
and the play ends. So I'm wanting everyone to do that, and then I will splice everyone's breathing together in post. So if you want to just give me some like deep breaths and give me several, and then I can I'll pick the best and put it in post. And come a little more gentle on the out. I know it's hard to breathe in loudly, but more almost like a sigh on the way out. Okay, I think between all those, I should have something. I should. All right, that's everything I need. Is there anything that you felt was funky that you're like, I just want to do that one more time, or do you feel good? Because ultimately, I want everyone to
You just heard a rehearsal for Barely There Theater's production of King Lear for the role of Edmund, featuring the voices of Charles Budan and Alexander Richardson. Be sure to subscribe so you can get notified for all of our future episodes where the rehearsals for the play you just heard will come out, as well as all future radio plays. Once again, thanks for listening to Barely There Theater.